Tech here, and welcome to another What the Facts video. Hello community, and welcome back. Today we'll talk about Malefic Roar. We'll check out its passive and see if it's an item worth buying. And aside from that, we'll also talk a bit about Blade of the Seven Seas. But first, let's take a look at what Malefic Roar can give us just by looking at the description. Okay, so 60 physical attack and that's it for a 2000 gold item. But I'm pretty sure you know that this isn't what we're paying for when we buy this item, right? Its passive gives you 40% physical penetration. But what does that really mean? Allow me to demonstrate. Here we have Mr. Krabs again minding his own business, and we're just gonna go ahead and give him a few whacks in the head. So I have this Legion Sword item that gives you 60 damage and nothing else, right? Let's see how much damage we deal. Alright, that's 171 per basic attack and 139 per hit of our flying fidget spinners. Now we're going to buy Malefic Roar. It also has 60 damage, so there isn't any change in our attack power. But our basic attacks now deal 27 damage more. And you can also see an increase in our hero's skill damage. So what happened there? We did not increase our physical attack power, but we dealt more damage after getting Malefic Roar. With Malefic Roar's passive, our basic attacks or skills that we do ignore 40% armor of any enemy we hit. Monsters, heroes, the Lord, Turtle. Now, does armor penetration mean armor reduction? No. The enemy armor does not get reduced, but every time you, the carrier of Malefic Roar, attack them, the game registers your damage on them like they have 40% less armor. So let's say, for example, they have 100 armor. If you get Malefic Roar, you attack them like they only have 60 armor. That's how it works. And this only works on damage dealt by your own hero. Oh, and yeah, as equipping this item effectively increases your damage on enemies, even your critical strikes will get increased. And lastly, the second item passive lets you deal 20% more damage to enemy structures or turrets. I find this passive very appealing to heroes like Bane, as you increase the damage you deal to turrets with your flying ship and your splash damage passive. Now, when should you get this item? I recommend getting this item as a 4th or a 5th item when the enemy tanks already bought some armor items, because 40% of no armor is nothing. So it would make it a useless item if you buy it as a first item. So if you buy it as a 4th or 5th item, your 40% armor penetration would penetrate bigger armor numbers. And this is especially sweet if you're having problems taking down that low HP Gatot with his armor increasing passive. Now you might be wondering if you should get Malefic Roar instead of Blade of the Seven Seas, right? Now I've already discussed what it does back then before they remade it, the model, the name. They changed it from Crazed Reaper. You can check out the What the Facts video I made titled Negative Armor to get more details about that. But right now, let's talk about it real quick. So Blade of the Seven Seas gives more stats than Malefic Roar, as you can see here, right? Aside from that, its passive lets you increase your movement speed by 10% when you do basic attacks on enemies. And each of your attack lowers their current armor by 7. And you can attack them 5 times to reduce their total armor by 35. This means that all of your teammates can take advantage of the armor reduction that you do if they deal physical damage as well. Now, what advantage does Malefic Roar have over Blade of the Seven Seas? Malefic Roar shines when the enemy has high armor. Imagine an enemy getting 1000 armor. Using Blade of the Seven Seas to reduce that would only get it down to 965 armor. With Malefic Roar, your attacks go through 40% of its armor, meaning you can damage the enemy like they only have 600 armor out of the original 1000. So there you have it. To recap everything we found out today, Malefic Roar is more effective against tanks or enemies buying armor items. Blade of the Seven Seas is a nice item if you want to reduce enemy armors through basic attacks so that your teammates can also deal more damage. But take note that it can only reduce their armor by a maximum of 35. Malefic Roar's passive works on basic attacks, crits, and skills. Blade of the Seven Seas passive only works with basic attacks. And lastly, Malefic Roar can be a good pick if you'd like to take down towers fast, like when you're using Bane, or split pushing like Zelon. So I hope this helps you pick out the right item during the game, and if you have any other questions or any tips to add, feel free to comment down below. Also, please give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to get updates on the next one. Again, my name is Shinmen Takizo, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace!